Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Motorsport Manager. This is episode number 15. Getting ready for our penultimate race of the season. We're set for soft tires and the race trim for bonuses. We've got those maxed out. We didn't get the qualifying bonuses maxed out. However, we actually still did well in qualifying. Jean-Eric Vergne got through to Q2 for the first time in the dry. Just barely. But looking pretty good for the race. The race itself is 51 laps. Super softs won't get us there. Softs will, though. They should get us 25 laps, 26 laps we need out of them to make a one-stopper work. Now for this episode, similar to the last one, I actually do plan on making this a double. Pre-planned this time. It's going to be Lewis Hamilton on the pole, though his teammate Bottas only 5th for him. And as we look down outside of those locked into the used super softs that aren't going to last very long, those guys are all going to have at least a 2-stopper, which could help us. We've got Norris on the softs. Sainz on used mediums. What a waste. It's so weird how people do that. Alonso's on the softs. Russell on the super softs. That will definitely turn his race into a 2-stopper. A lot of 1-stoppers on the medium. Not too many using the soft compound. Really, outside of my two guys, only a couple go with that same strategy. Could really benefit us. But here we are in Brazil for the second to last race of the season. Ocon starting from the back. Immediately drops back to last place, but Vergne, he's caught up in heavy traffic and to the outside there, really costing him a lot of positions early on. We do see a Red Bull. Max Verstappen going straight to 22nd, 23rd now. Ocon the only one behind him. And he's going to start bouncing back from 23rd, but big mistake by Verstappen at the start of this race, costing him a lot of positions. We got 4 wide just behind us for Vergne in the middle of a 3 wide. And is that the other Red Bull as well? Gasly, yes, Gasly down to P11. Wow, both Red Bulls off to a terrible start in this race. Vergne really picking the wrong line here a couple times. He could be in a much better position than he is. Right now sits in P17, Ocon in 23rd. And here comes Verstappen trying to force his way back through the field. Goes 3 wide there, splitting us and the Alfa Romeo Sauber. And that's Max back up into 16th. Vergne down to 18th. And it's already time to start backing off to neutral. We don't want to overheat these tires. Got a long ways to go here. Russell off to a decent start to get up to 21st, but those super softs aren't going to last too long. Grosjean struggling and down to 16th. And we've got a collision between Magnussen and Verstappen as Verstappen makes his way through the field. Big lockup behind with everybody. Both of those guys under investigation. Verstappen just couldn't wait, and he takes out Magnussen. Magnussen's flat spotted, so he's going backwards really quick. He's already down to 23rd. Meanwhile, Hulkenberg was able to get by us through all that mess, and Norris is up to 15th. Magnussen into the pits. Ocon starting to make his way through the field. He's ahead of Massa. He's ahead of Russell. At least he's battling with Russell anyway. See if he can hold that. It's back and forth between the two. Russell's got the advantage with the tires. He's got a bit more grip. And his car is technically faster than Ocon's, so Ocon driving well. Big lockups. There's a collision. Sainz has a problem. He's got some damage and a huge flat spot on those tires, down to 44% already. He's under investigation. Verstappen, looks like they considered his a racing incident. So even though he flat spotted Magnussen's tires, he's gotten away with it. And he's up to P10, and now having a look at the Toro Rosso Jr. teammate, Daniel Kvyat, who's got a really good start. He's the only one up within that top 12. Meanwhile, Vern now sitting in 17th. It's Alonso behind, then Russell, then Albon, who's come out in 19th. That is the Toro Rosso, by the way. Ocon is 21st. These guys are shuffling around a lot. They're really close. Massa. Sainz has dropped to 23rd. Did he have a drive-through penalty? I didn't see it. He hasn't technically stopped, but he's down to 23rd. So either that problem is really slowing him down, because he's 7 seconds behind. I think he might have had a drive-through penalty. Verstappen's already back up to 8th. Hamilton's still in the race lead, and 8 seconds ahead of Sergio Perez in the Racing Point in 2nd place, who is ahead of Vettel and ahead of Leclerc. Bottas in 5th. Raikkonen is in 6th. Ricciardo 7th. There's quite a gap from 5th to 6th. Well, 5 seconds. Not that big of a gap, but for this early in the race, that's a pretty big gap. There's Verstappen right behind Ricciardo, trying to make a move to get back up into his optimal position. He's already gotten around his teammate of Gasly, so a huge mistake from Verstappen, and he's already come all the way through the field to pass Pierre Gasly. It's Kvyat, Stroll, Grosjean, and then Norris still working his way up through the field. He's making good time to start this race up into 13th. Hulkenberg back up into 14th now. Kubica running well in 15th. He absolutely, if you have not figured it out from this series, Kubica has the better car than Russell. Very much the favored first driver on that team in this mod. Giovinazzi in 16th. That's Vern right behind them in 17th, and he's used up a bit too much fuel. It's time to start conserving some of that. And Vern makes a move around Giovinazzi to get 16th, despite driving on neutral. That's good. It's Alonso 18, Russell 19, Albon 20, Ocon 21, Massa 22, Sainz and Magnussen slowly making their way up, but of course Sainz's medium tires aren't going to last anywhere near as long as he wants them to, and it's time to speed things up. So we have one Mercedes well out in front, and we have a group of front runners including Perez with a really strong start, and we have a secondary group, third group, fourth group with the back markers, plus the 2 guys off the back who had those early stops, but we speed it up for now. Vern putting pressure on Kubica now. He is on mediums, we are on softs. We should be faster than he is. But again, he's got the stronger of the 2 cars, and Williams is definitely a level ahead of where we're at. Lock up from Verstappen. Verstappen's still in P8 right now, and those front guys are going to be pitting fairly soon. We'll slow it down when we see the first of them head into the pits. Not this lap. And the first one to stop is George Russell. He was on the Super Softs, but he was not on the used ones like the top 12. Russell just chose, but he pits. Massa has been passed by Magnussen and Sainz. Sainz has a mechanical issue, they note. Oh, he's got a bad mechanical issue. He's blowing up. It's not minor. Now remember, he had damage already and was opting not to pit. He had a drive-through earlier, but never went back in for an actual stop. Meanwhile, Gasly, first in the front 12 to pit, and he is not alone. Grosjean and Stroll both pitting as well. Sainz struggling to make it back. This is destroying his race. Even if he gets this fixed and gets back out there, he's lost a ton of time. 73 seconds already behind. If he does not retire, he's going to be out here for a while. Quick stop. He puts on the sauce, and he's now 89 seconds behind. That's a big deficit, so Sainz probably will not get back into the points today. Vern currently up to 14th. Gasly, the only one to come out ahead of us. Grosjean. Magnussen. Well, that was from his puncture, his stop. So, Grosjean, Stroll, Russell, and Sainz, along with Gasly, have all stopped. So it looks like the midfield ones are coming out behind us. So, of the 8 still up there, that might mean Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Verstappen. Vern could come out ahead of them, but it's going to be pretty close. Grosjean's gotten around Ocon. Not too surprised by that. Ocon's already at 56% wear. Yeah, that's okay. He'll make it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to make it. Raikkonen pits and comes out ahead of us. So those guys do have enough of a gap, which means getting into top 10 is going to be a real challenge today. Even though Vern runs in 14th. These guys have already opened too much of a gap. Grosjean with a problem. Puncture. And he drops to last place after pitting. His second. So we run in 14th and 18th. Kubica's still ahead, but only by a few seconds. Gasly has worked his way back from just in front of Vern, back up to 10th already. Ricciardo ahead of us. Verstappen, Raikkonen, Leclerc, Bottas have all pit. Hamilton pitting now. Hamilton into the pits. Can he hang on to the race lead? He comes out on softs, and he still has the lead. That's how big. Oh, no wonder. Vettel and Perez both pitting. So Perez stays ahead of Vettel. Leclerc moves into P2, so he gets the undercut to work. He's already pit, so Leclerc jumps Perez and Vettel to go from 4th to 2nd. Bottas had been 4th, but Vettel just passed him on his exit lap to reclaim 4th position. Bottas, he pit a while ago, as did Leclerc. Kvyat has yet to pit, sits in P6. Raikkonen, Verstappen just behind him still, has not been able to get around. Norris has yet to pit, sits in P9. Gasly in 10. Hulkenberg yet to pit in 11th. Ricciardo in 12th. Kubica has yet to pit in 13th. I am in 14th. Also has yet to pit. Speed it back up for a little while. So instead of 14 and 18, we're now 14 and 20. Ocon just slightly off pace. And some of those midfield cars that have pit on those fresh tires have made it back around him, but not Vern at this point. But we're down to 30%, and I need to get 26 laps out of these. That's really going to push it. Vern looks like he'll make it. I'm not so sure about Ocon. Magnussen fixing his problem as he takes his first pit of the day. Or second, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. Second pit. 29%. He'll make it 3 laps. He's just going to possibly drop off that cliff slightly. I'd have him push, but that does not feel like a good idea right now. We will have Vern push, though. We push him both ways. Let's go ahead and get you to push here. I want them to pit on separate laps because they're just a little too close together, maybe. I'll have Ocon go on 26. I'll have Vern go on... You know what? Oh, no. Wait, where are you? Oh, he just passed the pit. Dang it. I'm going to have him pit this lap instead of the next because he's about to get lapped anyway. So 25-25 seems a lot better than fall off the cliff and do 26 and then only do 23, 24 laps later. Engine's a little bit worn. 10% chance of mistake on the pit stop. Go ×4 for right now. We're going to have Vern pit the following lap. He's at 24% right now. Ocon passed by Grosjean, who's already pit twice. Okay, here he goes into pit road. Oh, mistake on the front left. 10% chance. And they make a mistake. That's frustrating. That is very frustrating. I could be pushing. 19% is not a big chance. That's a pretty small chance. And it's almost a second faster. But I'm trying to go without the risk. 10% is very minimal. You know what? We're just going to push now for Vern to try to make up for it. So let's get with Vern here. And we'll slow it down when he goes to head in. So a mistake on the front left. That really sucks. So from P13, Vern enters the pits. No mistake on his. Better stop. 2.6 seconds. And it comes out in 18th. So Ocon comes out 23rd. Got some fuel to burn, but Sainz just behind him. Wow, Ocon's lost that much time that Sainz has covered all those mistakes and problems that he had. And Ocon's now in last. Even Magnussen is ahead. Let's see, we'll kind of make our way up through the back end of the field here. Alonso, a little further down the road. Russell is going to stop again here pretty soon. He's in 20th. That'll probably put him down to last. Massa has yet to stop, and he'll have to stop soon. He's at 30% on his tire wear. Vern has made it around Massa, so Massa had a problem, because Massa was ahead of us. No, he wasn't. Sorry. Kubica was ahead of us, not Massa. So Massa is just slow. Vern pits, but stays ahead of him. Grosjean, 5 seconds further up, but he's going to pit again soon. He's down to 36% and about to get lapped by Hamilton. Hamilton's got a 20-second lead here. Grosjean trying to battle with Hamilton, not wise. Just ahead is Stroll. And then Albon. Albon has not pit yet. 41%. Giovinazzi is going to pit very soon, 24%. And his form is really bad, so hopefully Vern will move ahead of him. In terms of time, he's 13 seconds down, so he should. Norris in 13th. That's who we were battling right before we pit. We were between him and Kubica, who has yet to pit and will pit soon. Maybe Vern could make up enough time to get ahead of Kubica here, as he will pit soon. Ricardo's already pit, but he's going to pit soon again. Those super softs just not lasting. Hulkenberg, and then Gasly, Raikkonen, Kvyat, Verstappen, Bottas, Vettel, Perez still hanging on to third. Leclerc well ahead of him though. So Leclerc's running a good race here with those super softs. It's making some good time. Hamilton though 18 seconds clear and probably could go the distance. Now back to our guys. So Vern running in P18. Keep an eye on his pace. Form is looking really good. But I'm not sure if he can get up into the points. He's probably going to be somewhere around 12, 13, 14 today at the end of the day. Maybe 11 if he gets a little help. It's definitely going to take some help. I mean, we have no DNFs right now. It's going to take a couple cars out, I think, that are above Vern to get him into the points. Speed it up for a little while, though all those pit stops are about to happen. Keep an eye here. Raikkonen in. He's back out well ahead of us. There you go. Grosjean in. Grosjean in. And Leclerc is in. Grosjean comes out 10 seconds clear of Ocon, so Ocon just slow. It's just slow. Ricardo's in. Kubica is in. Giovinazzi is in. Oh, Vern just behind Kubica. So we did not get the undercut to work, but we are just behind him now. He's on fresher softs than we are. 1 second ahead. So close to jumping that Williams. It's definitely a stronger car. He definitely has a stronger car than Russell. So all the good parts are on his car. My cars are pretty balanced, though Vern has been the stronger of the two. By the way, I had new parts for the car. However, none of them are actually on either of the cars. So we have the same setup the last 2-3 races. Reason for that is all the new parts that we've been cranking out are better parts than what we have now. However, they all break the rules. Now here's the thing about that and the way this game works. Whatever the best part is at the end of the year, best 2 parts at the end of the year anyway, will be the base for next season. So they are your baseline parts for the car going forward into next season. Any parts that do not meet regulations this season will be spec parts next season, meaning they no longer break the rules. So that is the reason for doing that. Ocon gets around Russell as Russell pits. Russell 4 seconds behind. Ocon, where are you in relation to the leader? You're a long ways from getting lapped again, so you need to back off, go normal. And you can push for a little while. Vern, where are we in relation to the leader? We are only just recently a lap down, so let's do the same. Switch this up for a little bit, save some fuel. Stroll and Albon will both be pitting for too long. Stroll's got a while yet, but 14 laps, I do not think he's going to make it that long on those tires. Hulkenberg will pit very, very soon, but he's too far ahead of us. They'll come back out in front. So really, Vern's looking at maybe 2 positions to gain. Norris might not make it on those tires, and we've got a shot at Norris. Remember, that's who we were battling earlier. So Vern could, at best, make 3 positions without help of driver mistakes, accidents, mechanical issues, anything of that nature. Cool down, cool down, cool down. $12 laps to go. Back to neutral. $10 laps to go. Both my drivers now have enough fuel. We're up to 15th as Albon pit. He's going to have some speed, and he's only 3 seconds behind. So Vern, Albon very well could overtake Vern. Verstappen ran wide. Grosjean spun. Got a little bit of spare fuel now. It's only a little bit. Stroll should be pitting soon, and yes, we should get him positionally. Norris, I don't know, that gap's awfully big, 27 seconds. Seven laps remaining. Let's go times 4 for now. Save this fuel for the final lap or two. Ocon just 22nd. Russell's 2 seconds behind. Massa's in last. Back into the field pretty much where it should be, though. The Haas's are certainly lower than would be expected. Kubica a little higher than would be expected. But again, when the team puts everything into one car's going to do a little better. Stroll. Cannot believe that Stroll has not pit yet. Keep an eye on him. Hopefully he comes in this time. He's about to get lapped. And he does. He comes in. We should get this position. Oh, it's close. Oh, we get ahead. We get ahead. Only just. Stroll comes out just behind Vern. 2 seconds down. Vern's up to 14th. Somebody else just pit too. One of the front runners. Hamilton pit again. That's a surprise. Leclerc. Bottas up to 3rd now. Perez hanging on to 4th. Still ahead of Vettel. Verstappen. Gasly, Raikkonen, Kvyat, and Hulkenberg round out the points. Ricciardo 5 seconds out of the points. Norris just pit. Came out ahead of us. So he did make up enough time. He actually came out ahead of Kubica as well. And here comes Stroll. Whoa, 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 whoa. Slow down. We have spare fuel. Let's start using it because we need to defend. Now, those tires never really did cool back down to neutral like I figured they would. They've stayed just below the hot zone. So we can't really push that either until the final lap or two. Alright, 3 to go right now. No chance of getting lapped again, not even Ocon. So 1 lap down is where they'll finish. Bird's still got a decent gap, 0.8 of a second or about a second. Lap 50 starts for Hamilton. He's got 2 to go. Now Vern has 2 to go. Ocon, not that far ahead of Russell, but that gap has held for a long time. 2 laps to go. Don't think this fuel's going to go 2 laps on push. I want to back off for a little bit. I think Ocon's going to just about make it 2 laps worth of fuel. Whew, here comes the racing point. Magnussen gets around Alonso for 20th. So those two, their recovery drive has not gone well. Nor Grosjean, those 3 guys are well down the order. Okay, Vern. Last lap. Right? Yes. Last lap. Okay, let's push. Push with what you have left. Couple corners to go to hang on to 14th, which of course is not an ideal spot, but at least it's beating Stroll. And he will. Okay, let's go ahead and get here with Ocon as he finishes the race. You can also push with what you have left and go medium. That's not much fuel left right there. But it looks like he will hang on to beat Russell. Still almost 2 seconds clear. There we go. Not ideal, 14 and 22. But considering there was no DNFs on the day, and only 3 cars, well, 4 cars if you count Verstappen on lap number 1, only 4 cars had any kind of issue the whole day, and all relatively minor. We managed to beat 3 of those 4 cars with one of our drivers. That's not that much overall. But I'm going to go ahead and skip into the final race of the season. We won't bring the entirety of this race or that race. I'm sure I'll cut out a little bit of the content along the way. But we move on. Crazy result here. We're going to finish this off. I know we were just quiet for about a minute there, but we've got to see these results. And looking at the time, we're just not going to be able to squeeze in that. I keep trying to. These races just take too long as it is. Anyway, Fernando Alonso demoted to last place, having broken the rules. Verstappen demoted to next to last for breaking the rules. Hamilton, the race winner, demoted for breaking the rules. Still gets 2 points though for fastest lap. There's Verstappen, who had a drive-through penalty. I never saw that. Must have been later in the race. So that bumps Massa to 21st, Russell to 20th, Ocon to 19th. Here's the 3 cars that had the problems. All drive-through penalties. Verne jumps to 12th, but still misses out on the points. Kubica to 11th, misses out on the points. That pushes Norris, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg up into the points. Kvyat, Leclerc finishes 6th. Raikkonen, I didn't see what happened to Leclerc. He was running second. He must have taken an extra pit stop just before the end because he should have had the win, but he's 42 seconds down. So I don't know if he and Verstappen came together or what. I missed that. Completely missed that. That was right at the end of the race. Raikkonen 5th. Gasly ends up all the way up into 4th place. Perez, I have no idea what happened to him, but he picks up a 10-second penalty. When and where, no idea, because he was running a good, clean race. Maybe he came together with Leclerc? I don't know. So he ends up dropping to 3rd. He was ahead of both of these guys. Vettel moves up to 2nd, and Bottas inherits the race lead from 5th? He was in 5th. Vettel was in 6th. And they end up 1-2 at the end. That is pretty chaotic. That is completely unexpected. And with 1 race left to go, no change for us in the points. But man, oh man, does that shake things up here. Now with 1 race to go, Hamilton should have just locked up the championship. Ferrari, Sebastian Vettel should have been well out of it. But now he's still alive, barely, with 1 race to go. And Mercedes, in this mod, get caught over and over again for breaking the rules. So something in the coding with this mod, they attempt to put on parts that have risk over and over again in their upgrades throughout the season. And get caught again and again. Almost once per race, one of the Mercedes drivers is demoted to last place on a regular basis. Not sure why this mod does that, but it does. Bottas moves above Verstappen for 3rd. Leclerc down in 5th. This is another one of those situations where in the Ferraris, they have a 1st and 2nd driver. They have a 1st car, 2nd car. Big time. Now, the Constructors is not yet a lock either. Maybe it is. 45 points, right? 25, 18. So that's 43. Fast lap, 45. Next season, there's a bonus for pole, but there's not now. So 45 points is available. So that does do it for the Constructors. Mercedes, our champion for this season. Now, I sit in 9th place with 1 race to go. It's going to take 11 points either way, above or below me, to even put anybody on level terms. It's going to take 12 points to make a difference. I don't think that's happening. So we should be pretty firm in our 9th place, which is above Toro Rosso, above Williams, and it's Alpine with just 3 points. So Alonso and Massa. Massa's been down at the bottom. They do the same thing. They have a 1st driver, 2nd driver. Alonso gets all the best parts. Massa is by far the slowest car. Both my cars have easily passed him up, but we haven't been able to pass anyone else up. We're just about level with Alonso car-wise, and that's why he's only managed to score 3 points this season. I think he's at a 10th and a 9th, but otherwise he's missed the points in 13 other races. So with one to go, it looks like Alpine's going to see relegation. But that's going to do it for this episode. Sorry I wasn't able to get to that last race of the year. It's going to have to go into the next episode. But thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button to keep this series alive and going. And looking forward to a second season coming up here real soon. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.